Hello, this is a note on the use of the StarPilot program for the iOS system, phones or an iPad. It's a demonstration of working a celestial problem, and we're doing this because we had a specific request on how to do one of the problems from our book Hawaii by Sextant, and I'm just going to quickly go through that. And I'm using a mini tablet version of the program. I think they work the same in all the phones and all the tablet sizes. And so here's the issue. We're working a problem from this book, and if you don't know about this, let me mention this book, Hawaii by Sextant. That's our book on, it's a practice exercise on ocean navigation, and it's this route here. Is this route that goes from up here in Washington State to Hawaii back in 1982. It's the last voyage I navigated by pure celestial navigation. No electronics on the boat other than a radio direction finder that actually did not work at the time. And so here's the voyage. So this is with celestial navigation, and there's 130 some fixes in here. No, sites anyway. And all worked out, and they're worked out in all possible ways. So it's a very good training exercise for learning celestial navigation using real sites. And we're going to be working somewhere right here, basically on 713. There's a course change made right here, and this course change was completed right after the set of sites that we're going to analyze right now. And the logbook. Here's a sample of what the logbook looks like. So we're going to do these what we call problem 13, and so that's a fix that was done, and this is watch time 0642, and that's summertime on the West Coast, so it's plus 7 hours to get to GMT. And so here is the log reading. It looks like it's 1364 miles into the race. This is the course that was changed to. The course leading up to that, from the last DR position here, the course was 235 at 5.7 knots. And this is a running fix. It's from two bodies, Venus and the Moon, taken 20 or 30 minutes apart. And so then there's a running fix. And so the running fix has to be done at a speed of 5.7 knots on course 235. And so here are the sites, the actual sites. There were actually three bodies sighted, two sites of an unknown star, and then there was three sites of Venus, and 1 and 2, 4, looks like 6 sites of the lower limb of the Moon. And we're just going to do 2 of these for the moment, 1 Venus and 1 Moon. And this star was identified. That's part of the exercises here to identify that site. But for now, I'm just going to take 1 of these and 1 of these and do a fix with a calculator. Then I'll try to come back and make another video and show if you've got these 6 sites, how do you choose the best one of those, or an effective average of all those put together. One of the unique features of the StarPilot is it will do that. It will solve that analysis with our so-called Sight Analyzer function, which is actually a technique that's cited in Voyage. So our technique for doing this, which I'll illustrate in a second video, is cited in Voyage, referencing our main textbook. And so here are the digital solutions. Here are the digital solutions done with a program calculator, probably the StarPilot itself that we're doing right now. And these are the 2 that we're going to do. We're going to do the site that was at 0642. Again, there was 2, 4, looks like there were 6 sites. We're going to do this one, and this has this A value and so forth by computation, and this middle Venus site right here. And if we look at those Yeah, I'm not sure why that one was chosen. But anyway, these are the ones. It's just illustrate the process. When you're doing your real navigation, you'll analyze all of them and do them all. They go very quickly when you have a tool like the StarPilot. So here's what it looks like when you're doing it in the traditional work form. This is the StarPath work form. This is that unknown body. It was the star Cocob. We're going to let that float for a while. We're not using that. And then here we have Venus. And the Venus sight was done at this time. It had this HS value, and we end up with these. This is the LOP down here that we're plotting. And then the moon, lower limb of the moon. So we got this sight time of the moon, this HS. These sights had index correction of 0, height of the eye of 9 feet, and the zone description was +7. No watch error. Okay, so that's the way that is. And then, so that's what we'll do. And then we'll come back. The actual plot, let's see, how do I move that? Can I do that? No. Oh, I can roll it. Okay, so here's the DR coming in. Here's the DR. Well, this looks like it's almost a transfer from one sheet to the other. We don't necessarily have a DR right at 0, 0, 0, but it's a way to get from one plotting sheet to the next. So, but this is the DR track. It's course 235, so the boat's going along down here, and that's emanating out of the previous fix, which is right here. The last fix was here, then your DR down here, and then at time 642, DR 642, we did another fix, and it's a running fix between Venus and the moon, which it looks like that fix is right here. And we'll come back maybe and zoom in on that. Then after you get that fix, sorry, there's somebody cleaning the sidewalk out in front of us. Okay. After we get that fixed, then you abandon this DR track and then start off. And here there was a decision to change course, and so it came down here like this. So the idea is that how do we do this? You can do this way. You can either go do it by hand using, this is done with a publication 229, and you would get these values here, and then you would plot them by hand, and that's what's actually plotted in this plot is it plots from these forms. Now I'm just doing a digital solution. Oh, low battery. Okay, hang on just a minute. Let me see what kind of charger this takes. Oh, okay, I got one, it looks like. Okay, so here's the StarPilot, and now I'm clicking this button here. Well, let me just close it. So here's what the icon looks like, StarPilot, and then you open that, and I'm clicking that. Again, you can't. I've got a pointer, a mouse pointer here, making this thing go. Then I have to actually touch it with my other hand down here. So there's some kind of correlation, which I'll certainly stumble on at some point here. So let me look at the digital solution. No, at the forms. It's probably the forms the easiest thing to look at here. There's the Venus, and there's the moon. Now I've actually entered this data, so to save a little bit of time, but I just show you the process. So what we're doing from this main menu, we're doing a sight reduction. So we would be clicking this button, sight reduction here, and then I have the sight for the sun, and the sun. Oh, site number 3. This is site number 3. Oh, okay, site number 3. Well, that's fine. I did the moon and the Venus, and then now I'm in a sequence, and I'm doing the third site. So I could let me just do one of these now, and I'll show you, and I'm just going to basically do the, let me just put in the moon again, and see what that looks like. Okay, and then and then I'll just delete it and do the fix. Okay, so body. So it's not the sun. It must default to the sun. So I'd hit the body, and then I've got to go down here and find the moon, or I could probably type moon there and get KLM moon. So it's here. I tap that button, moon. So I got the moon. And then watch time. This has a settings. If I look at these settings here and then go to settings, let's see, the date. Oh, I might as well put the date in here, right? The date is, it looks like it defaults to the present date. Our sites are all done on July the 13th. And this is a slider panel. I'm sliding with my finger here. Up, slide, up. Wait a minute. I'm right-handed, and I'm doing this with my left hand. July 13, and then it's 1982. How long ago is that? That's a while ago. I still remember the trip pretty well. Select. And we have all the logbooks for this. That's the interesting thing. We have every single logbook and plot from the original Voyage. That's what led us to make this book. Okay, so there's 713. The DR, that is the DR position over here, I see. And that's that. I see, that's right, lower limb. Okay, but that's okay. Let me go back. That's not what I want. I must have to go to advanced. Okay, advanced. Oh, I see. Okay, so the zone description's in here as 0. So that means we're dealing basically, the zone description is in, the watch area 0, zone description 0. So that means we're dealing with UTC, Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, so we can go back to our sites, site reduction. Oh, we're still here again. Okay, watch time. So here we want to use Greenwich Mean Time. And so watch time with a ZD of the watch equals 0 is a Greenwich Mean Time, UTC. So this has got to be, you see over here, 1342.22. So I just tap that one and put in 1342. 22. I'm just rolling this thing up here. 22 done. So that's how you enter the time. The HS is here. Now, when you're new to StarPilot, you have to learn this new convention that we use, which is, it's unusual at first, but then you'll see it's extremely fast. We use, if you want to put in 53 degrees, 52.8 minutes, you type that in as 53.528, and then the machine interprets that properly. So it did not pick up the date from the settings because I'd already started the process. Okay, so HS, I'll put in HS, and then HS was what? 52.8. So I put in 53.528. Whoops, back up, delete, 528. Done. Okay, so I got that in. Now let's get the date back in, right? Whoops, no, the date is July 13, 1982. July 13, 1982. DR latitude, DR ICZ. Okay, so that's it. So then once you have the data in for that site, then you just push compute site reduction. And then there's the answer. The intercept value is A, and this convention minus means away. So it's 0.2 away from 154.7. Now, and that's site number 3, which I'm about to delete. Okay, so look over here. Now here's something you have to keep in mind. When you're comparing something you do with a calculator, we did this site reduction based on this DR position here. If I want to get the exact value that's here, I have to go back and redo that and put in not the DR that's here. I'd have to put in the assumed position. So I'd put in for the latitude, I'd put in exactly 33.0, and for the longitude I'd have to put this 136.10.4, and then I would get out this 16.2 away, and I'd get that. I'm surprised. Well, that's not that much. I may get a little closer on the ZN value, but the main thing that changes is the A value. So anyway, that's how you insert a site. And now I can go back. Oops, can't do it there. Got to go back, one more. Now I'm going to do a celestial fix. Oh, So okay, celestial fix. That's fine. Now, and always before you do a fix, you would review the sites that you've entered in. So I'm going to review the sites, and here's the site number 3, 1 of 3. That's the moon. That's the moon. Where is the A value? Oh, here it is. That's the point. That's one like I did. That's going to be the same as 3, and I'm going to delete 3. So then I go to the next one. Wait a minute. Is that 3? 1 of 3. Back. Oh, I'm sorry. I cannot click this screen up here. I got to go down to my machine. Punch it down here, my left hand. Okay, there's number 2 is Venus. And that's the stuff for Venus. And all this was entered exactly the same way. You go down the list, same procedure. Now I hit this again, and I'm going to come to site number 3. And this one I want to delete. So I'm going to hit this button. Okay, delete number 3. Okay. All right. So now I can go back. I've checked my sites. They're right. Now I want to do fix by plotting. See, you could just hit compute, and it will compute the answer. It would compute the answer to the intersection of those two, and you don't even look at it. Or you can actually look at the plot of those two, fix by plotting. And then now we have to put what time do you want to fix. So we're going to put the time. I think it asks for, what are we doing to fix? 0642, and we want GMT here. So this has got to be 1342. 00. That's good enough. Select. Left hand, hit select. 42. The course we have to have, and it's 235. The course. I'm tapping on the course button, and then I've got 235 done. Now I have to tap on the speed button. The speed button was 5.7. 5.7 done. And let's see, 5.7. That's that. Now that's reset. That's the time, the date, the DR, and now it's going to do a fix. It's going to plot. What it's going to do is going to plot. It's going to plot the moon line. No, actually, the Venus line was done first. So it's going to plot the Venus line, then it's going to plot the moon line, then it's going to advance mathematically. It's going to move the Venus line up to the moon line time, so we get a fix at 6:42. Does that all automatically. I just have to hit plot the LOPs, and here it is. Okay, so there is the fix right here. These are the two LOPs. Can I click them and see anything about that? No, it just moves to wherever I touched. You see, normally you would go in and touch right here. Let me see if I can touch very close to that. Okay, that's the fix. That's the fix right there. And the other, how do I move this? Is this moving? Oh, wrong button. Well, a quick start. No, I want a celestial fix by plotting. Plot the LOPs. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to re-enter the speed now to get back to there. But anyway, that was the technique. Let me do that again. Put in the course. 235 done, and the speed 5.7 done, and plot the LOPs. Okay, so here's the fix right here, and that would be this position right here, and then I can click here and read that position. Or the other way to do it is just go back. I got to hit the back button and the back button and say fix by computation, and then what's it say here? Auto update the DR. That means after it dates a fix, it would change the present DR position from here to the new one, so we can carry on with the other one. And then I can just go here. Let's see, I'll do auto update to DR, and then I got to put in the speed. Now I could have gone in the settings there and maybe put in this stuff, but you have to change them. You have to change them at every leg. So, okay, compute the fix, compute detailed output. Oh, let's see what that looks like. Okay, there you go. Range fix. What is that? Deny. Well, your device can be hooked to the GPS too, but that kind of defeats the point here. We're doing celestial navigation. Fix. I'm going to go back and just say compute the running fix. Okay, so there is the running fix at I got the wrong time in it. I didn't put the fix time in. I'm illustrating kind of mistakes you can make if you don't. But when you change around like this, once you're doing it day by. Oh wait a minute, it's got to be 1342. And now I do 1342. That's the right date. That's the well, that's going to be a bogus number now because it based it on the wrong time. But now I do compute the running fix. Okay, so there is the running fix. 1342. No, at 1342, it's 33. You see 15.4, 15.4, and then 16.9. So that's that fix. So anyway, that's the way that works. I'm going to stop there for now on that illustration of just how to produce a running fix. And then I'll come back and illustrate some more subtle things that the program will do.